Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Carly has lost her damn mind. Um, Carly's the type of character that you either love her or hate her. Um, that's pretty much all I can say about that. And in this episode, what I liked about Britt is that Britt was like, yeah, I'm not Sam, I'm not Liz, I'm not doing that. You know, she pointed out the fact that, a lot of Jason's, pretty much all of Jason's girlfriends so far has always come second to Carly. And she was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Carly, Carly was like, listen, it's a package deal. I come along, I'm going to be a part of Jason's life. What does she say? I'm the price of admission. But isn't Jason worth it? And I stood there and looked at her like, oh, this chick done lost her damn mind. And I was like, no. And when Britt was like, no, I was like, and I gotta sit there and say, in a lot of ways, Britt had more self-respect for herself than Liz and Sam. Because at the end of the day, no one should be sitting there coming second to anyone else. Well, unless it's their children. But besides their children, no one else should be sitting there coming, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be coming second, playing second to anyone, except for someone's children. So when she said that, I was like, yo, this chick is... The sad thing is that she really believed in her own BS. And it was nice watching Britt call her out as far as, like, controlling Jason's life. And, this is after Carly told, Britt about the fact that, the marriage wasn't real and blah, 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 blah. And now everything can go back to where it used to be. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You want her to be a consolation prize. You're cool with Cynthia telling her to be a consolation prize. How would you like somebody to tell you that? Sometimes they're just like, listen, as much as I like Carly, sometimes the words that come out of her mouth, I'm just like, did you really think about all that before you start spewing it out, or you just said F it? Because I feel like she just said F it. Let's talk about Spencer for a minute. When Spencer came in to his place, he was greeted by Ava and Trina, which both of them was just like, what the hell are you doing here? Ava left the room. Spencer attempted some sort of apology, I guess. The fact that he started off by Cynthia saying, oh, well, I'm not used to Cynthia saying sorry. I'm like, bro, that's a problem. That's a problem. So he meandered his way through some sort of apology, but Trina wasn't having it. Trina was not having it, and Trina decided to leave. And, he had some words with Ava, and once again, he was all like, oh, you didn't sit there and testify when I was like 11, and like, alright, bro. I get it for the audience, there's some new people that are just joining, but and it's almost kind of sad to some extent. Because the people that are just joining are probably sitting there thinking, well, this happened like maybe a couple months ago, maybe a year ago. Like, no, this happened like years ago. Like, when he wasn't even 18. Like, this was years ago. Oh, the fix your face. Oh, man. I guess this guy must have forgot about the time that he got scarred on his face and wouldn't leave the house. Oh my goodness. But at this point, Ava was like, yo, I'm done. You do that again, and it's a wrap. Period. Ava's had enough. She's had enough of his BS. She's like, yo, I'm done with this guy. And the cops could show up. And at first, she's all like, oh, what are you doing in here? You can't just barge in here like that. Alright, bro. And And pretty much Ava was like, no, 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 they're there for you. You know, the terrorizing, the stalking, the burning of the cars, all that good stuff. Well, maybe not the burning of the cars, but all that good stuff. You honestly think that what you do don't have consequences. And, well, today you're going to find out how much, that what you do have consequences. And he just stands there all angry and everything like that. And I'm like, wow, Spencer. Meanwhile, Nicholas goes to see Alexis, and they have a good chit chat for a little bit. And then Nick tells Alexis that he kicked Spencer out, that he wants nothing to do with him, and everything like that. And I was about to call Nancy, and Alexis is like, "What are you doing?" And she pretty much says like, "Yo, listen, this is your fault," And at first he's like, well, "What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember the time that you pretended that you were dead to sit there and come back and get the Castodon money and all this other good stuff?" Where do you think he learned that type of extreme love from? And it was funny too because halfway through middle of this conversation, Nick was like, "Oh well, he did this to my wife and he did that and he went so far and blah 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 and he took it too far." And I'm like, bro, did you really just forget about the fact that you pretended you were dead for years in order to get back the money? You faked your death and he was grieving for you, and you just magically forgot that. So long story short, Alexa's like, "Listen, you're a good person," which is questionable. I'm not saying he doesn't have acts of kindness, but like he does things that's like with Sean, which of course apparently Thanos must have snapped his fingers because apparently no one remembers anymore. But Alexa's like, "Listen, just fight for him, stick with him, and everything like that." Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think the only part of this episode that was just like, y'all just really had to cram everyone in there, right? And that was the Jax and Sean scene. All they did was talk about Hayden and how he's, kind of stuck with his investigation. And, long story short, they talk about Nicholas. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little lost and I was also a little bored. So there was a combination of that. But he did go see Alexis, and because it was hinting at Nicholas being behind it or whatever. Being the reason why she left town in the first place, and all the other stuff that apparently people forgot about. So he does that. He goes to Pentonville to talk to Alexis, and he has this eye contact with like Nicholas for like a good few seconds. And this is like, I don't know if this is before or after, and I'm like, what are y'all? Okay. Yeah, and then he goes see Alexis, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember what happens at that point. That was another part that I kind of just really didn't care about too much. And this was the Sonny and Brando scene. This is what I mean by just cramming everyone in there. All he did was play catch up or whatever. And, Brando was like, I don't want to sit there and work at the warehouse or, really work for you and work for the mob and stuff like that. And, Sonny was like, well, was this your choice or was this Sasha's choice? Now we all know it was Sasha's choice. So him sitting there saying, oh, well, she doesn't really like the life, and, we're building a life together, so, we both came to that conclusion. Okay, Brandon, you keep telling yourself that. You keep telling yourself that you were the one, that y'all did this in a group effort and not her sitting there giving you an ultimatum. No. That's not how it happened at all. You both made this decision. Sasha talks to Nina, and pretty much like, well, not most of the people, but a couple of people kind of just let Nina off easy. Now, granted, you know, Sasha caused a big foul with her as far as pretending to be her daughter. So, in a lot of ways, she really didn't have room to sit there and criticize her too much, except for the fact that she was like, yeah, she was with the family, she watched them grieve and everything like that, and it was terrible. But it was just a mistake, and yada, yada, yada. And then, once again, Nina tries to justify her BS actions. At that point, I was like, yeah, okay. I started looking at my phone after a while. Sorry about that. Anyway, they pretty much just, he asked questions about being a father and stuff like that, and Sonny was just like, there's no manual, so just, learn as you go along, pretty much, more or less. Esmere she starts lying like usual about how Spencer wants you two as friends, and he's going through a lot, this, that, and the third. And, the way she talks, she always comes across as very pretentious and very manipulative. And after she's done, and then I guess she goes to go get a drink or whatever, Jocelyn's like, so you don't believe anything that she's saying, right? And Cameron, let's be honest, Cameron isn't exactly the brightest bulb in the room. So, of course, he believes her. Which I feel like, and, probably future episodes, she's going to be the one that's going to, get between them. And I'm not going to lie, when she walked away, when she was all like, thank you, Cameron, and everything like that, she, touched Cameron's shoulder and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, is this chick serious? Anyway, he seemed like he believes everything that, Esmere says. And it gets to a point where somebody else in the comment section was like, maybe she doesn't really have money. Maybe the people that she dates, she always dates rich guys, and they have a lot of money. She's always talking about, these exotic type of foods and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure whatever boarding school that they went to weren't cheap. So that's originally why I thought that why she had money. But, anyway, I'm not gonna lie, their conversation didn't really go anywhere. And then, as far as Cameron and Jocelyn, but they didn't really seem like they fought about it. When Cameron went back to work, Esmere pretty much threatened, Jocelyn, saying something along the lines of, we're a package deal, and, if you're not going to be part of the program, then you're going to get left behind. And I'm like, yo, this is the second time. This is the second time that this chick done threatened her. Now I'm curious to see where they're going to go, because, Esmere is all like, oh, we're going to be homeless, and, we don't have any place to go, and, Jocelyn's like, well, you two are resourceful. You'll figure it out. I was like, damn. I almost forgot. When Nina was sitting there talking to Sasha, she was sitting there talking about, how, well, because she kept making her BS excuses like, oh, Sonny was happier there, and he was a different person, and, at first it was about revenge, this, that, and the third, but somewhere along the lines of her talking, she's sitting there thinking about, her kissing Sonny and stuff like that, back in Nixon Falls, and I'm just like, alright, so you still, alright, so you still want to be with Sonny, even though this man wants no parts of you. Even though Carly would literally wipe the floor with you. You still... Okay. Alright. You know what? I'm probably going to regret saying this. But if she did want Sonny back, or she wants to sit there and make it a play for Sonny, I think right now, for today, I wouldn't even be mad. Well, I wouldn't be mad at Nina. I would just sit there and think that she's an idiot. But Carly, I'm still bothered by her whole, oh, well, if you want to be with him, then, I'm the ticket to a mission or whatever. And I was like, wow, you really think too highly of yourself. You really do. So I wouldn't mind that. I really wouldn't. Now it's weird with Sasha and Brando. Because I watched today, I was thinking, what was the point of those two actually being in this episode? Don't get me wrong, individually, I like both Sasha and Brando. But I felt like it was just like, did y'all really need to be here? I mean, I guess they did, to some extent. You know, Nina needed to talk to somebody that didn't want to, go at her. And I guess it was sort of nice, Sonny chatting up with Brando, catching up or whatever. But after a while, it was just like, even with the Brando and Sonny thing, I was like, okay, alright, and the scene is still continuing. Okay, cool. Carly met up with Sonny at the end, and then Sonny was there talking to Jax because I don't know. It looked like Sonny had beef with Jax. I mean, I know he's always had beef with Jax, but this is the one time that Jax was like, "Yo, listen, I'm trying to sit there and help you remember who you are." Sorta. You know, now I sit there and think about it. He really didn't do that. He waited for me. You know what? Never mind. Whatever I was about to sit there and say, it just went straight out the window. I think that's about it. Also, I want to sit there and say sorry for the weird, awkward angle at one point. But I'm using a different tablet. And this tablet is kind of crap. Like, it was literally about to run out of power. It was about to run out of power, and I was like, no, there's no way in hell I'm going to sit there and redo this again. So I was able to hook it up to an outlet, and just to, continue the review. So that's why you kind of got that little bit of an angle. And I'm still charging about the other one. Otherwise, I would have used that one. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just easier to use this one, but at the same time, it kind of sucks because the power is like. Anyway, and honestly, tell you the truth, if you've been watching my reviews for a while, you can tell the difference in quality between the one I'm using now and my other one, which I may actually start using that one a lot more. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let me know if I missed anything like I usually do. And I'll see you in the next video.